Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome on this lovely rainy night. Hi, Michelle. What a crappy day, huh? It's a good night to be in doing this kind of thing tonight. Hey, Judy. Thanks for joining me tonight, guys. Actually, it's a perfect night to be in on a rainy April night. This is the exact kind of weather to be indoors doing some crafty stuff. Hello, Kathleen. I just made myself a coffee. Hi, Judy. And I'm just waiting for it to cool down a little bit so that I can actually drink it. Hello, Yvonne. Welcome, welcome, everybody. Don't know if you can actually. No, it's not too bad. I thought that might have been a kitty scratch, but they're on my arms. Hello, Linda. Welcome, 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 everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? Having a good night? Having a good start to the week? Oh, it's already at the middle of the week, isn't it? Boy, this week has already flown by. Well, I guess because, oh no, Monday wasn't a holiday. That was last Friday. How's everybody's week going? My week has just felt like it's been so busy, busy. I guess because, hi, Deborah. I guess because I'm in the store on Monday, it just makes the week go by so much faster for me. Although wasn't that busy in the store on Monday. Oh, it's busy for me at the college right now too because I'm into getting all of the final assignments time, which means it's lots of marking time too. Hello, Gay. I'm just letting everybody catch up, slide in here a little bit. We'll wait a few minutes, see who's going to join us tonight. You might have seen. So this is the Remember album that I was talking about for the last week. And you're actually gonna get. Oh, couldn't the weather be nicer? I know. And it's going to be interesting to see what we get tonight. They're calling for some snow, guys. So it will be interesting to see if we get it. And if it's just wet snow, if we actually get the snow. I've been telling my students, my international students, for months that we always get snow the first week of April. Doesn't matter. We always get snow the first week of April. And sure enough, here they are calling for a summer storm or a spring storm. This weekend we're supposed to. Yes. Friday we're going to get sun. You can tell that I'm looking at the weather forecast with my students. We're supposed to get sun on Friday, and then over the weekend and into next week, it's going to be double digits. So it's going to be really quite nice. We're going to pick up, and I think it's going to be spring, probably from that point forward, which would be really, really nice. Um, so I'm looking forward to that. Hi, Lori. Welcome, welcome. I'm just kind of settling in here, letting everybody else catch up with us. I've been running around like crazy. I also proctor exams and testing at the University of Guelph and their Student Accessibility Center. So I was up there working today too. So it's been a busy, busy day. And their exams start next week, so it's gonna be busy, busy, busy. All right, it's 8:05, so why don't I jump in here and start talking about this Remember album that I created. And I mentioned last week when I posted the picture about it that this one was really a labor of love. When the collection came out from Simple Stories, and this is the collection that came out. It's the Remember collection, and Heather said so. This new collection was coming. I said I would work with it. And the reason I did that was because I knew that I had on my plate or kind of on my list that I had wanted to work with was an album to commemorate my brother. So my younger brother passed away 5 years ago. It'll be 5 years in September. So there's 3 years between us. He had been fighting health problems since he was in his 30s. Actually, he had some heart issues. And so we kind of always knew that he wasn't necessarily going to get to have a long life. But even though when it did happen, we were still quite surprised that he went when he did. And in the end, it was actually a superbug. He contracted a superbug from being in the hospital. And that he had to actually have experimental drugs. We thought he was going to be coming out of the hospital at the time, and he ended up taking a turn for the worse. And actually, the very day that I started teaching at Conestoga College is the day that he passed away, ironically enough. So I'm just taking a sip of my coffee here. I wanted to create an album, and I had it on my list of things to do, that this was something I was going to do, just a small album as a memory album. So when this collection came out, this was the perfect collection for me to work with. Last year, I put this in the post tonight, I very unexpectedly had a very good friend. Thank you, Gay. Last year I very unexpectedly had a very good friend, a very dear friend, pass away. And so I actually used one of these flip albums to create an album for his mother and for his son. His son was 19 at the time, and his mom had been very, very good friends of ours. He had lived across the street from us, and he had just actually moved for a job to Leamington. So I had put together an album using one of these flip albums, and that's actually kind of what gave me the idea. Oh my gosh, so difficult. And this was totally unexpected. Hi Carolyn, he had an aneurysm, an aortic aneurysm, and died in his sleep. So it was shocking for all of us. Because he was the same age as I was too, so it was like, whoa, holy crow. I mean, that kind of hits really close to home when it's something like that too. But it was that gave me the idea to put this together and to do it this way. And I wish I had something like this last year to work with, because I did it from scratch last year, and not having necessarily a collection to be able to work with. There had been one a couple of years ago that we had talked about being available, but there hasn't been anything really recently that you could actually use to commemorate anything like this. So this was really nice to be able to have this. And it was actually the reason why, like, there's no official kit coming out from Simple Stories or anything like that, but it was why I said to Heather, I can see putting a kit together for it, and that's why I did it actually for the store. You never think you're going to need something like this, and then all of a sudden something comes along, and lo and behold, you need something. Thanks, Deborah. So let me show you what I did. Now, I'm going to tell you right off the bat that this is larger than your average flip album, okay? And so if you were to get the kit from the store, it is larger than what, normally comes with a kit. So for instance, and I'll walk through what comes, well, I'll show you. Normally when you get when you get with a flip book, it comes with 10 pocket pages. And it looks like this, right? And then you put the things in it. Well, I added more pages in because I was doing, I've created a very personal album, and I'm going to share that with you. You're actually going to get to see pictures of me when I was little. Okay. So everybody who's here tonight and watching this is going to get to see pictures of me and my family. And other parts I'm going to show you. So other parts of there's a half a pad of the paper that comes with the kit, and I'm going to walk through, and so I'm going to show you what I did in the album, and then I'm going to recreate parts of it to show you things that I made. It's coming with decorative brads. I wanted to have the decorative brads with it. And it comes with 5 different sheets of the full pages. And the reason for that was I wanted there to be tags to be able to work with it. It comes with a number of different journaling pages. It came with a number of these 4x4 and some smaller elements. It comes with a sticker sheet, and then it came with 4x6, a sheet of 4x6s, which I'll show you what I did with, and it came with a sheet of the 3x4s so that they can fit right into the slots. So let me show you how I put all of that together. in this album. Some of, I'm going to show you a couple of things that I pulled together out of my stash as well. So this is the front cover. So I used the stickers on here. I added a little bit of detailing in here using a stencil and some of the, where did I put it? This is the seashell stencil butter. And I had a star stencil that I put it in. Yeah, there were a lot of tears with this one, okay? I mean, that was part of it. I had to keep kind of walking away from it a little bit. And there's two stencils that are in the store that are very, I would grab this one and actually, I use small ones, so either one would actually work. I just wanted a little bit of star detail in here. And then this is one of the little small cutouts. And here's a Brad, and then here is, oh, yeah, there was actually some, oh, what did I do with that? There's actually some cardboard pieces that come with the kit as well. Oh, I might not be able, oh no, sorry. No, it's not on here. Shoot, I might not be able to completely do this then on the front cover because I don't know if I have another one of those. On the inside, I created a pocket just from a piece of cardstock. Now, I just happened to have some cardstock at home that was called Leaf. And it just so happens to be a perfect green to go with this paper. Could do white, could do blue. In fact, I'm going to show you, I've used blue in here as well. And this triangle is 8.5 inches high by 7 inches wide. And I cut a square and then I just angled it on the, so when I'm cutting this piece, when I do these pockets like this, you guys know how to do this, but when I'm cutting it, so I take the square and I just line it up along tip to tip, and that's how I cut it to get that angle. So rather than using, say, one of the pages in here, because I wanted, you know, when you've got all the pieces that are in the folder, I could have used one of those, but I wanted it to kind of, I wanted to use as few those because I wanted to be able to put them into the book itself. So I put, I just used a piece of cardstock that I had. And then what I did was I took one of the 3x4 cards. This one is a remember card, but any of them really could go in here. But what I ended up doing was I chose to use this one because I wanted it to kind of match this page over here. And then I took one of the stickers that's off the Brad sheet and I put it in here. And it says A Beautiful Life. So the little card sticker says here, remember, A Beautiful Life. And then I took one of the Brads here. I thought the Brads were really nice, something a little bit different. I have in here a journaling card, Memories of You. I have a number of other little cards that I can just slide some pictures on. And I've just got them tucked in there for now. One thing I did do, so this was from this is one of the, so this was from the 3x4. So there's one sheet here, one journaling sheet that has 4x4s and then a bunch of the small, tiny 2x2s on here. And I cut these two out here and then I scored it in the middle to create a little booklet. And I'm going to find a couple of little pictures in here. Or I can even make it a little journaling card. I just put a little ribbon on there And then this little brad down here says "So Loved." And I've just tucked it in like this so that the ribbon doesn't necessarily get squished. Okay, so I started off with the title page. I chose the paper that said "Memories of You, You Will Always," and then I added in from the sticker sheet. So when you look at the sticker sheet, there's all kinds of larger stickers, and then there's a whole bunch of small ones down here. And then this is the long one that I used on the front cover right down the spine. Okay. So I chose, and I have so much stuff left over, which would be great. I found a number of the pieces would be great for cards. And they were kind of like thinking of you at this time, or sorry for your loss, those types of things. So those, they weren't appropriate for me to put into the album, but they would be great to make cards with. So I added in here, "You Will Always Be in My Heart." The other thing I did was I edged everything. So I'll bring it up so you can see a little bit closer. So you can see that I edged everything. I took ink. In this case, I used Distress ink. I used chipped sapphire, and I used a round blending brush, and I went around and on all the edges, and I blended them. So on the back of that page, my brother had just, thanks Judy. My brother just got married a couple of years, probably 2.5 years before he passed away. So this was at his wedding. Thanks Judy for putting that in there. And so this was a picture from his wedding. It was a small wedding, so I just put this picture. One of the things I did do, my book is quite thick as well, because I actually did use a lot of foam dots to put everything up. So I thought that this was a nice background. I hold them close is what I did there. So this is one of the pages that I made. I'm sorry guys, I'm getting a bit of a reflection, even though I've got reflector things on top of my lights here. So this was kind of where I made a page and I added it in. So what I wanted to do here was I created a pocket page here to hold. This is the program from his funeral. So this goes, I made a page to go in here. And then on this side, one of the things that they did was for the funeral, we had, these are bookmarks, and it had a whole kind of obituary thing on there. And so I created on this page, I put Velcro on these two pieces so that it can go on here and it can come on and come off this way. What I added as background here, I mentioned I had blue. This paper is slightly different than this. I didn't have any more of this. This one was called Storm. It's American Craft paper. This one here is called Stargaze. Close, but just slightly different. Last year, Spellbinders came out with a 3D embossing folder called Beautiful Blossoms. And when I was trying to figure out, I wanted to somehow break up the backdrop of the green a little bit there. And I thought and there's this fine line when you're doing one for a man or about a man, that I thought, oh, floral. And I was concerned that this collection was a little bit too flowery, but it's not. And I think it's all in how you treat it and how you put everything together. And so one of the things I did, I bet Heather could still get these for us if we asked her. I found that although this has got flowers on it, I think it comes across as just being a beautiful match to what's going on here with the album. So what I did on this one here was, this is a picture from when we were little. So that was my dad. And my brother and I, so there were 3 years. So he's probably a year or so there, maybe 2, which would put me at about 4.5 maybe there. So it's kind of a nice juxtaposition between the then and the now. And so this page, if you watched the last time I did one of these videos, this page is, I made this as an additional insert here. It's 12 inches wide and it's 8.5 inches high. And then what I did was I scored it at 5 8/8, 1 1/4, and 7.5. So if I do that, what it does is it gives a score line here so that it actually does it on the fold of the where you fold it with the simple with the album, and then you get a fold where it folds again on the album, and then you get a fold here. The other thing I did was I did round the corner so that it matches the album. So we'll see where we end up with time, and then I'll go through and I'll make some of these things with you. And then I just put some pieces of the blue in here to break up the green a little bit as well. So the back shows a picture that we had done family pictures a number of years ago with my family. And this is my brother and my dad at that time. And I chose one of the little stamps from the stamp page to go with that together again, because my dad passed away in 2006. So they're together again. And so what I did include here as well in some of the pages was, this was the obituary that ran in the newspaper. So I just printed out, so this was in Guelph Today, and that's actually what's on the bookmark as well. That's what's on here. So I added on one of the cardboard stickers there, and that's what runs here. I said one of the eulogies at the funeral, and so I've added that in here as well, and I just added one of the little cardboard stickers here. So that goes on for a couple of pages here, and I added on a Brad here. And then I added in one of the other sheets of paper here, those who bloom in the hearts of others never fade away. So then from here on, it's kind of, I start showing a bit of his life in order. So there's, I've got a hospital birth record thing there. I put in one of the cards there, picture of him when he was a baby. And then this was one of, I took one of the sheets of 6 by 8 pages and folded it in half. And this was a series of pictures that were probably the first pictures that were done officially with him and I when we were little. Again, I'm probably 3 and he might be about 1 at this point. Told you were going to get to see some pictures of me when I was little. This was a picture that ran actually in the Guelph Mercury. I think it was on the front page of the Guelph Mercury at the time. My dad and him, when it was a father-son Cubs dinner. And so I wrote I put these cards in at the top there. These are the 3x4 cards, and then that let me actually put a place to journal. So I've actually journaled in this one already. This is another page that I made. So this one was, so again, it's a sheet of 12 across. It's 7 inches high this time. And again, I'm lining it up with one of the pages, and I score it on 5/8, and then I score it on 1 1/4, and then this one was scored on 6 3/4. So that, again, I get the first fold where it meets inside, and I put the 2 hole punches in there so I can get it in there. And then it folds again where it's going to fold, much like, so it's matching the lines that match each of the pages individually. And then it folds again here. So when you look at it like this is my brother and I. That's the first day we learned to, thank you, Lori. First day we learned to skate, and that was at Centennial Arena. So just over on College Avenue there. I grew up in Guelph. My mom still lives in the same house we lived in on Kendrick Avenue over in University Village. And so what I did here, I took one of the tags, I just cut it down a bit. This one says you and me, and I wrote on the back the little journaling. And so I just I put the foam so that I could tuck it in between the foam and just do that. And then over here, this is him. This would have been one of the last. Yeah, I think we all did. My mom could not handle hair, okay? She was horrible at having to deal with hair. So I had pixie cut the whole time. And I had pixie cut until I was 5 years old. And I had to go to my grandparents were in New Brunswick. That's where my mom grew up. And I had to go to a birthday party with my cousins who had long hair. And I think there's a picture in here further on. I was mean to my brother that day, actually, because my cousins had long hair and I had the pixie cut, and they had their hair in beautiful ponytails and pigtails, actually, and we had matching dresses. My mom my mom and my aunt had bought us all matching dresses. I had a red one. One cousin had a little blue one, and one had a pink one. We were all a year. My one cousin was the same age as I was, and the other one was a year older. And I was so upset because they had these pretty pigtails with the ribbons in their hair, and I couldn't have that. And we were going to a birthday party up the street. And I was mean to my brother that day because I couldn't have my hair like theirs. Anyhow, this is the last Christmas we were in Hamilton. We lived in an apartment in Hamilton, and that was my Miss Kitty, my favorite doll at the time. So I remember that. And then this was a picture of us. This would have been, so he's really young there. So that's my mom and my dad. So actually, when you look at this picture of us skating, my mom is actually holding my baby sister. That would have been, so this was 1970. We were living in Guelph. So I was 5 and he was 3 there. And so this is a little bit older. So I'm 7. That would have been grade 1, I'm thinking. And he's 5 and she's 3 at that point. We all had diaper. Oh, I had some permed hair too. And then, remember all these photos? Oh my God, family photos. And then we're getting a little bit older, and he was on the basketball team. That we went to Lady of Lourdes, Our Lady of Lourdes, and I actually was the scorer for the basketball team. Backyard barbecues. He was a huge Jets fan. Getting a little bit older. This is my first year at Ryerson. This is an interesting picture because all 3 of them are no longer here. My grandfather, my brother, and my dad. This is a picture from my first wedding. I'm on husband number 2 now. And he was walking my mom down the aisle. So this was at St. Joseph's Church in Guelph, actually. So I've used, again, this blue. I've used the paper as so I have actually edged all of these papers, but I've used the blue as the background on all of this paper. I just found it a really nice way to pop this up. So some of these 4x6 papers here, this was his graduation picture from Seneca College. I took, so the paper that had all of the, where is it? All the tags. I cut out, so it's actually, which one is it? It's the top row. I took and I just cut out the entire row and kept it all together. And then what I did, I wanted to make a little booklet out of it. So I popped a hole in the top one and using a hole punch. So cut out, the top edges there. And then I put the little tiny brads, if you can see them, into the hole, where the hole would be on the others. And I use this as a way to journal for all of these pictures here in this section. So that, because you're trying to get as many memories in as you can and not take up as much space journaling. And I've got the ribbon on there just to pull the tag out. So this is my dad and my brother, and this is Halloween party that I was at his place. So this was in between my two marriages. And then tucking in some of the cards. This is me and my mom and my brother and my grandmother. This is the last time she was at our place in Guelph before she passed away. One of the cards. So this was my second wedding, actually. So it's him and my mom dancing. And these were all photos taken at our second wedding. So this was my brother. It's my two stepdaughters. Pull this up so you can see about me, my husband, my brothers, the woman who became his wife, my mom and my aunt. And then this is a picture of the cousins, because we're all that were at the wedding. So on my mom's side. And then this is my brother and his wife. And this was actually just a few months before their wedding. Her daughter actually got married, and I actually acted as the wedding coordinator. And so it was at the Butterfly Conservatory. So this was one of the sheets of paper that is in the collection, and it's all butterflies. And so I thought, how wonderful is that? I could actually make it this photo that I took of them at the Butterfly Conservatory, and I actually used the matching tag, and there was actually a little cardboard sticker that I could add on there to decorate that as well. This is a picture of them at our wedding as well, so that was nice. My brother was a big hunter, and he was a big gunsman. He actually competed in competitions all over North America, and he was very big in safety. He belonged to a gun club in Kitchener, and it was very interesting because being actually at the funeral, that was one of the other speakers at the funeral, spoke about how he was somebody who helped to create gun rules in Canada to make sure that safety was important. And it's interesting how you can know things about your family members, and quite often you don't, and you know they do things, but quite often you don't know everything and all about all aspects of their work. My brother actually was part, he worked in the correction system. He started as a prison guard, and then he made his way up to become the in charge of the hostage negotiation teams in Ontario. So whenever there was a disturbance in one of the jails, he would be in charge of the teams that would go in and take care of that. And then he actually, at the end, he was actually teaching in the program in the colleges. They have a special college for that, and so he was teaching those types of courses. So that's actually here. I just did a 4x6 because I just wanted to showcase one of the tags, and I put one of the brads there. So I wanted to make sure that in the collection, these are not pictures that I really ever had of him when he was alive. These are ones that I got after he passed away. So I wanted to make sure that they were in my collection. The types of things that you need to make sure that you have. And in the end, pictures from his wedding. It's always hard to decide what you're going to put in when you're doing something like this. And I wanted to make sure that I had a cross section. And that's kind of what I've done. I've had pictures all the way along to showcase his life. I liked this one from the wedding because he's looking right at me. And then I chose this sheet here in the end as because I felt it was a nice closing piece, and then I put a picture. So when I said that the family had pictures done, this was the picture that had been done of the family, and this was the piece that I chose to do on the back. I don't usually like to do a lot when I'm doing fronts and backs because I don't want them to be, you're moving them around and you don't want things to get crushed a lot of the time. But now you can see how big this album is, and I can show you. I left it open so that I could show you because there is a lot in this album. And I left this open at the back so you can see here that I actually did create a bit of a spine here, and that was by me tucking the paper in, and I put something on the spine here. Thank you, Judy. How did I do this? Because quite often when you do these, if you are used to working with these types of albums, they will, you know, plow out like that, right? Like they'll be on an angle. Thank you, guys. I decided to try and level it up. And so what I did, so if you look on the end, you can see that I used chipboard pieces to actually, chipboard pieces and foam. I left the end piece open so I could show you how I faked that out. And I think I only had the natural color here. In the future, I think if I was going to do this again, I would use black. I just didn't have any black here. And I used black in between, and you can see the black kind of disappears. You don't see the black foam. So I would use black pieces because these pieces here are black and they disappear. So that's what I do. And what I did was I cut out this piece here. I measured how much space I would need to go around and then to fit this in and around. I can show you what I did on the front. So I actually put the holes in, but I don't actually need the holes on the back, but I wasn't worried about it because I was going to show you guys. So you can see how it tucks in there and you don't see it on the front. And then it gives me the spine like this. And so it covers it up on the outside, and then it ends up being more level rather than it being going up at an angle like so. So that's the Remember album that I did. One of the things that I was playing with, that I was thinking, this is some of the ribbon that is in the store right now. And I was considering putting that little bit of heart edging right in there along the edge like that. So that's something I'm thinking about. So let me just show you how I put the front cover together. I will do that. So with the album, because it's so simple to do. I do love working with these flip albums. They're so easy to work with. So so basically you have 20 pages inside here, right? And so you have to take them and then reorder them how you want to on the inside when you decide what it is that you want to work with. So I'm going to pull out here. Where's my sticker sheet? Right there. So the first thing I do is off the bottom of the sticker sheet is this long piece here. I line it up right along the edge here, all the way down. Put that down, and then I take my Fussy Cut scissors. I always do it from the back. And I cut it off. I saved that piece though, so I've got it to use if I want to use it again. Put it back on the sheet. The next thing I did was I took the Remember off the sheet, and be very careful when you pull it off, because those letters, you don't want to rip them. So pull that Remember off, and I'm going to put it down, and I'm going to overlap it just a little, and I'm going to put it on an angle. You want to make sure you leave a little bit of space over here, because I'm going to come back in here. Where is, it's this one here. It's the dove. He's on the sheet like this, and I'm going to take him and I'm going to put him like so. So he's leaning backwards. Then for the little grouping down at the bottom, now, I don't think I have another one of those. I had a collection. This is what happens. I usually buy another set of all this stuff, and I forgot, or there weren't any more. There were more coming in last week, and I didn't grab another set on Monday. I forgot. So I can't duplicate what's down here yet. I need to grab another one of these. Needs to go down here in the bottom. The Loved down here. But what I do have is, so this here is one of the 2x2 hearts. So let me find that. I'm always surprised I didn't grab another one of those. Just checking to make sure I didn't shove it someplace. I don't see it. Okay, so where's the 2x2 hearts? So it's this 2x2 heart right here in the center that I used. To cut that out. I had everything else cut out ahead of time, but I forgot to cut that one out. So it's that one there. And so that'll go there. Probably come into about here. If I measured it, how far over did that come? About 2 inches. So I can measure it in place. And it went up about 3 inches. Okay, that's about right. And then I took one of the little flowers, this one here. Top corner, and then I took the butterfly brad and the brads. Yeah, I was, so many times, I often do it with my December daily. I do December dailies in these. And I was thinking there's got to be a way that I can do this so that it doesn't splay out like that. Okay. So then I have to go in, see if I can get another one. Yeah, I want, just checking over here where I keep all this stuff. Nope, don't have another one. I have to get another one to go across the bottom. I thought I would make another one of these albums for my mom. So I'm going to get another one to go down in here. So that is the one that says Loved, Beautiful Legacy. So these are the chipboard stickers that were on a sheet like this. I'm not going to put that one. I want that one. So, and then the other thing that I did was I put the stars right in here. So that was just me simply doing it with I think I would do that. So I'm going to do my spray. This is my Pixie spray. I'm going to do it like that. And I'm going to mask off parts I don't want getting, parts I don't want. That's all I want right there. And I'm going to use just a little bit here. That's it. Don't want a ton. Just want a little bit. Just a little bit in there. That's all I need. In the sink. So that's what I'm going to do on there. All right, so that's some water on the front there. That's what I'm doing on the front. So to give you an idea of how I did this fold out one here, if you remember, this one is 12 by 8.5, and then I scored it. So I'm going to score it at 5/8. I'm going to score it at 1 1/4, and I'm going to score it at 7.5. I got water on here. I had to, that brush that I was using before had been washed, and I guess I hadn't dried completely. So that's the part that you see opening up there. This is the part, so I'm burnishing. That is the first fold, and then this is the one. So it comes like that, and then what I do, let me grab, where did I shove them? Where are my extra pages? I have extra pages kicking around. I do have extra pages kicking around. Where are they? Right here. So these are spare pages. I'm going to put one. So when you look at a page, so there's the one, and that's what I've got here. So those two fold marks help the page to fold, all right? And what I'm going to do is to take, where's my my single hole punch? It should be right here. There it is. Slid sideways. I am going to take the single hole punch and punch there and punch there. And that's how I created this fold page. So that's what got me that, and that's what got me the inside. So that's how I create that page. To create the next page, which is the smaller one, and then I put it in the center. This one is, so it's 12 again, and it's 7. And so I'm going to score it at, oh, where'd my little cheat sheet go? 5/8. 1 1/4, 1 1/4. Same as last time. And then this one is 6 3/4. In. And then what I did was when I did this, I modified this page because of the photo I wanted to use. So I actually cut it down inside a little bit after I actually put that page there. So that shows you how, so again here, in this case, oh, jeepers, everything's wet now, I'm getting things wet. So in this case, okay, I'm gonna eye this one. That's about the center. And I am going to pull and hold. And that is going to give me this one here. Okay? So you can actually, as I did here, get this out of the way. This one here, you can have the full page, or I modified it. I cut this one down a little bit smaller because I had this photo going on here, and that's what I decided. I cut it a bit smaller in the end. So those are those 2 pages, and that's how I created those pages. Okay. Trying to think if there was. That's how I did those 2 special pages. One thing I did do here was I created, I don't know if you can see this, I just created a couple of little corners that blended right into the frame. I didn't want to put foam on here to make it any bigger, so I just put the corner. I created from the same thing. I just cut little corners to put those in there rather than gluing the picture. Actually, no, you know what? I did glue this photo down. And then I just put these up there just to add a little something on the corners. So I actually glued that photo in place. And then I just glued this on the corners on that one. So that's the memory album. I hope you enjoyed that. It is definitely a trip down memory lane for me. And as I said, it was definitely a album from the heart. So I hope you enjoyed that. And I am going to leave it there unless anybody had a specific question about it. But I hope you enjoyed that. I enjoyed sharing that with you, and I thanks for joining me tonight. I will be back next week. Next week I am doing the Winnie the Pooh album, which is a little more fun, let me tell you. So we'll have some fun next week doing the Winnie the Pooh one. Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining me tonight. And hopefully next week will be much better weather. So have a great week, and I'll see you next week, guys. Take care.